to another video. So in today's video, I want to share with you guys some of my most embarrassing moments and situations I've been in my life. Yes, there are quite a few. And while I'll be sharing these stories, I'll be snacking on some of this delicious Halloween candy from Ashanti's Halloween bag. It's so much candy inside that bag too. Like, we got a lot of candy. We got a lot of candy. So yes, I want to share with you guys some of my top most embarrassing moments and situations. With that being said, let's jump right into this video. Okay, so I remember this whole situation like it was yesterday. I was 12 years old in the 6th grade. I was going to SCP at the time, Performing Arts School. So my mom had just got finished washing my hair, and when my hair gets washed, it goes through this stage called the shrinkage stage, and that's just when it gets wet. It like gets really tight. Like my curls get really tight and small. And my mom was braiding my hair a lot around this time because my scalp, I just had this issue with my scalp where all these sores kept popping up on my head. My doctor at the time, he had gave me this medicated shampoo that really worked. So I didn't have the sores on my scalp for long. While I was going through this process and my hair had fell out, my mom was keeping it braided because the braids would help my hair grow. But this night in particular, my mom decided to do her own little twist with my hair. I never really had an issue with the hairstyles my mom would give me until this particular night. Like the back of my hair, everything was still normal, was fine. It was just really the top up here, like where it fell out, so it was really short. So she had put like 2 braids at the top of my head that like stopped right here, and then she had put 2 other braids that stopped like right here. And then she put these colorful beads. They were kind of like the fat jumbo beads, and they were rainbow colored, and she put those on the ends of my braids. And then the back was in a ponytail that she had put in there while she was parting my hair. So after she finished putting those braids and beads in my hair, I heard her say, okay, so you should be good for tomorrow. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I should be good for tomorrow. What about the back? And I didn't say this is just what I'm thinking. So she sends me to bed, and I go look in the bathroom at my hair, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know she's not sending me to school with my hair like this. I know she's not sending me to school with my hair like this. Yes, she sent me to school with my hair like that. And I will never forget the conversation that I had with my dad in the car that morning. I was just telling him, like, can you please talk to my mom and tell her I don't want beads in my hair anymore. I don't want to do the beads. I really don't like this hairstyle. I don't want to do beads anymore. I feel like I'm getting too old for beads. I figured that whole day I might be able to keep my hood on, but it wasn't until 4th bell when it got real. 4th bell, I had science class, and my science teacher's name was Miss Crank. So she's reading through the book, we're going over the lesson, and she's walking around the class while she's reading. I'm sitting at my desk, I'm looking at my book, and I got my hood on. I don't have it all the way on to make it too noticeable, but I have it on just enough to where you can just see that I have like braids at the top of my hair, but you can't really see what the braids look like. So she's walking around the classroom, she's reading something out the book, and then I just feel this strong wind on the back of my head. And there was this girl sitting next to me on the left side of me. And when I looked over, she was like, and I kind of just crouched down in my seat because like I didn't even get a chance to just gradually take my hood off. She just pulled it off really hard, which drew all the attention in the classroom to me. All I know is I didn't wear beads in my hair anymore after that. That was over. No more beads were in my head. I personally don't think I will ever live this situation down. And I mean, that's fine. It's my fault. I shouldn't have did it, but I would kind of like for this to just be something that I could forget. But the time I touched and was stung by a lionfish. And yes, I know a lot of you guys are like,
how do you get stung by a fish? Did you just say you got stung by a fish? What is a lionfish?
Yes, I was poisoned by a fish. I actually did a whole video explaining the situation on how I got stung by a fish. I will link that in the description below. But yes, I was poisoned by a fish, and that has been something that the family has joked about for a long time because this wasn't something that happened when I was like 5 years old or something. I believe I was about to get ready to turn 18, and yeah. Leave exotic fish alone, guys. Leave lionfish alone. Just leave exotic fish alone, period. Just leave exotic creatures alone, period. Okay, this particular situation, I'm sure a lot of you can relate on. During my 12th grade year, I had credits that I had to make up. So I took 2 English courses during my 12th grade year. 11th grade English, and then I took a college course English class. My college course English class, it was smooth. The teacher, she just had really good lesson plans. She made me interested in all the Shakespeare stories. I liked when we would read the books, we would sit down and have discussions about the chapter that we just read, and then after we would have a discussion, we would watch the movies on what we just read, and overall, it was just a very fun class. I passed that class with flying colors. It was my 11th grade English class that just... We all have had a class or classes that we fell asleep in all the time. So the teacher was just really boring. Everything about her was just boring. From the way she walked to the way she dressed to the way she taught, everything was just boring. And I found myself falling asleep in her class every single day. What I hated about falling asleep in class in general was those dreams that you have when you are just plummeting from the sky about to smack right down onto the ground. And I would have those dreams every time I fell asleep in her class. It's like my dreams were telling me, you need to wake up and stop falling asleep. But I couldn't help it. The way she taught her lessons and the way she read books, it was like... So you can only imagine I was in her class like, not every single day, but the majority of that year, that's how I spent my time in her class. And right before I would get ready to plummet into the ground, my body would just jump. And of course that would instantly wake me up, and the classroom would be so quiet and I would just be sitting there with my head under my arms like,
oh my God, is everybody looking at me? Did everybody see that? Oh my gosh.
So I would just sit there and try to play it off and hope that nobody was staring at me, and then I would start to lift my head up slowly and rub my eyes and make it seem like I've been paying attention this whole time, when in reality, I was knocked out. So if you've had those kind of dreams where you're about to plummet down into the ground or you're about to fall off a mountain in a room full of people, please comment down and let me know, because I know I'm not the only one who's been in this situation before. I know. Something else that always happened to me while in a classroom full of people was that good old stomach grumbling. My stomach would start grumbling from either being hungry, I either skipped lunch because I didn't like the lunch options, or I hadn't had lunch yet, or I had to do something else. But this always seemed to happen to me around the time it was time to take a test. And you know how it would sound in a room when you're taking a test? Completely silent. All you hear is the pencils writing across the paper or somebody erasing something on the paper. And then there's me. I'll just be sitting there taking my test, and then so that would draw everybody's attention over my way. And me, I would just try to play it off like I'm looking to see where the sound is coming from too. And it always seemed like that always happened to me during the time it was time to take a test. Comment down below if you've been in that situation before, where your stomach just decides it wants to announce itself to everybody in the room. I think I can still feel the strong embarrassment that I felt the day this happened. You know, we all do weird things around our crushes. We say weird things, we do weird things, and just seems like a lot of embarrassing stuff happens around our crushes. So this particular day, I was in school and it was the final class of the day, which was band, and we were all lined up about to get ready to practice for the parade that we had coming up soon. And usually when we would practice for parades, we would all line up and we would march around the parking lot of the school over and over and over again. So before everybody got lined up, we were all just goofing around, talking, laughing, joking amongst each other. And I actually didn't even start this. The guy that I was crushing on, he kept bumping past me and messing with me. We're kind of crushing on each other, but he kept bumping past me and messing with me, and then he took off when he bumped into me real hard, which then made me start to run after him. So yeah, I'm running after him, chasing him like, yeah, I'm about to get you, you ain't going nowhere, blah, 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 blah. All I can remember in the midst of chasing him was subtly flying in the air.
Hey, I can fly!
He can fly!
He can fly!
It wasn't until I started to feel my body coming down that I realized, oh snap. I done tripped. I tripped over the stump on the sidewalk, like right before the sidewalk kind of lowers itself so you can push strollers up and any other things that you need to push up that has wheels. And then there's that big bulky part. I tripped over the big bulky part, went up in the air, came down, and slid a little bit as I was coming down. And I just laid right there. I could just hear everybody in the background like,
Ooh, dang.
and that was just so embarrassing because the guy that I was chasing literally saw the whole thing. Like,
where's my rock when I need it? Where's my rock when I need it?
so I limped back into my spot in line, and I was just so embarrassed. That was one of the most embarrassing moments in my life. And I can't remember if this was the first time or the second time, but there were 2 times when I tripped in front of the whole band class. And both times that I tripped in front of the band class, my shoe would come off, particularly my left shoe. So as I was walking back to get into my spot in line, this girl stopped me and was like,
I didn't even have to ask who it was that fell. I knew it was you because your left shoe always come off.
and I just looked at her like. So yeah, that was definitely one of the most embarrassing situations I have ever been in. Comment down below and let me know some embarrassing things that happened to you while in front of your crush. So yes, guys, those were just a few because there are so many more, but those were just a few of some of my most embarrassing moments and situations that have happened in my life. Comment down below some of your most embarrassing situations that you have been in, or if you can relate to some of the most embarrassing moments and situations that I have been in. But yes, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new, and if you aren't new, welcome back. Thank you for coming back, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.